What do you say to the woman out there who understands where you stand, but at the same time says to you point blank, who are you to tell me what I can do with my own body? What do you say to that woman?
This is so complex because we recognize we have a mother who's often in a difficult situation, hard choices to make, and we have another person involved, a human being growing inside of that mother. And so the law has to respect both.
Tonight, here on CBS 11, a chance to hear directly from the author of one of the most controversial bills to ever become law here in the state of Texas. While pro-life advocates celebrate his heartbeat bill legislation, pro-choice advocates condemn it, along with the fact that there is no exception in this law for victims of rape or incest. One of the first questions we asked Senator Bryan Hughes is why not?
If you're in a case like that, a terrible thing has happened. Would we want to make that worse by taking the life of the child?
You say let's not make it worse, but what if the woman who has had that traumatic experience feels it's the best opportunity and avenue for her?
We have two human beings, the little baby and the mother. We want to honor and respect both of them. We have to protect innocent human life as we do that.
So in that scenario, her opinion, I guess, doesn't matter?
To the extent that we're talking about taking the life of the child, the right to life has to take precedence.
That firm belief is what Senator Bryan Hughes says drew him into politics. He's represented parts of East Texas since 2002, where he was born and raised.
I grew up there in a working-class family, good people, God-fearing people.
Hughes has never married, has no children, but he has fathered some major pieces of legislation, now most notably the highly controversial Senate Bill 8.
The majority of the females in the Texas Senate voted for Senate Bill 8, and many in the Texas House. So I understand it's a deeply visceral issue. There's no question about that. We want to be delicate when we handle these things. But here's what it comes down to. If we believe that little baby inside her mother's womb is a human being deserving of protection, then that's a human being deserving of protection.
For clarity, the Texas Senate vote did see 6 of 10 female senators vote in favor of the law. That is a majority. But Hughes' definition of many in the House is just 7 of the 38 female representatives voting in favor. The law, we know, has made national headlines, in large part because of the unique way that it can be enforced.
A physician who doesn't check for a heartbeat and does an abortion, or checks for a heartbeat, detects one and does an abortion, that physician has broken the law. He's committed an illegal abortion in Texas.
How will you know if they do or don't?
Well, that's where the question comes in. Like any other law that has to be enforced, there's going to have to be evidence. There's going to have to be testimony.
And when it comes to the issue of citizens being the ones to enforce the law,
it's much narrower than it's been presented on social media.
First, the state has no authority. Instead, Hughes put the power in the hands of private citizens who can sue anyone who knowingly helps a woman get an abortion, with one crucial caveat that he says is often lost in the online firestorm. For instance, if someone drove a woman to a clinic.
That's right.
With the intent of that woman having an abortion.
That's right.
That person can be sued.
That person would have to know that there was a fetal heartbeat and the baby was going to be aborted.
If person X is going to get an abortion and a brother, sister, friend takes them, and they're not in the room for the moment, they're not in the room for fetal heartbeat detection,
right.
Do they face any liability then? Under your law?
You couldn't prove a case against them for aiding and abetting.
You've got a lot of women who feel that their rights have been taken away from them on this, that they no longer have a choice in this. You get that? Do you understand that?
I do. I do. We have social media comments. We have discussions about these things. We hear from folks.
He's right. Hughes' Twitter feed is filled with condemnation of the bill he crafted, ranging from absolutely horrifying to why do you hate women? Emails sent to his office range from thank you for taking a stand to no male has a right to tell a female what to do with her body. But it's the growing legal challenges to Senate Bill 8 that will be the ultimate test of the law. Legal hurdles he has told supporters he fully expected from a law that has deeply divided so many.
We recognize we have a mother who's often in a difficult situation, hard choices to make, and we have another person involved, a human being growing inside of that mother. And so the law has to respect both.
As we have reported, there is an ongoing effort to challenge SB 8, and that includes Democratic State Representative Julie Johnson, whose House District 115 stretches from Coppell to Dallas and several cities in between. She told me tonight that she is very upset that Texas has ended up in this place.
Women have fought for decades, myself included, to maintain the right to choose, and the fact that the Texas legislature took this unprecedented step to restrict the necessary health care for so many thousands of Texans is unconscionable to me.
And that is not all Representative Johnson has to say. The full extended interview with her is on our website right now, linked to this same story. Meanwhile, SB 8, for the record, facing multiple legal challenges, as well as a bill filed by a Republican lawmaker who voted for SB 8, but is now asking for exceptions to be included in the law. As of tonight, there is no consideration we know of on that from the governor.